Hello there. Today I watched Netflix's new spy thriller, Heart of Stone, and now I want to tell you about it. Heart of Stone follows secret agent Rachel Stone, played by Gal Gadot. She works for a shadowy organization that keeps the world safe with the use of advanced technology. When a rival group of agents attempts to steal their most dangerous weapon, Stone and her agency find themselves in an all-out war. The story isn't the most original script, with several other movies with similar plots coming out in the past year. It doesn't have remarkable characters or amazing dialogue, but it is solidly written, and it does have a few great twists. It's filled with highly exciting, fantastical scenarios in which one woman manages to take on entire teams of hitmen with only her wits and a gun. The technology they use in the film is a magical solution to every problem, and they only explain it well enough so that you roughly understand what it does and why someone would want it. Rachel Stone as a character is a James Bond type secret agent who can do it all. She can hack, fight, drive, and shoot at the highest proficiency levels. She even has a heart of gold on top of all of that. Throughout the film, she attempts to lighten the mood with bits of humor, and she's fiercely loyal to her team. At the start of the film, they have her in an interesting scenario. She's working undercover as part of an MI6 team to capture an arms dealer. She has to complete her mission without breaking cover, and the team she works with ends up being the most charming part of the film. We spent most of the film with them, until a surprise twist sees them part with Stone and she sets out on her own. From there, the real villains of the story are revealed and we start to learn a bit more about them. One of the villains gets developed fairly well, but doesn't get quite enough time to really stand out. The other starts off great and then quickly deteriorates into a bland, power-hungry villain after they give their backstory. The visual journey is easy to follow and filled with adrenaline-inducing scenes. Stone participates in hand-to-hand combat, car chases, parachutes down a mountainside, and she even does some skydiving. Fight scenes are your generic scenes of a few stuntmen brawling it out with a few cuts of the actors in there to make it look like them. They're well executed and have a great impact. They kind of reminded me of the Jason Bourne films in the way Stone would pick up and use anything around her to attack her opponents. The idea of fighting fair isn't even an option. From start to finish, this is a high-octane film and it only takes a few moments to relax here and there. The moments of relaxation are often where they sneak in the story moments, and they tend to take place in detailed sets. The set work, the costumes, and the little technological screens they had in there were great at creating a fully realized world of spies. The film also has several standout action sequences in the form of big stunts. Big action sequences are always larger than life and include some things that might be impossible, but they sure are cool to watch. Sound-wise, the film employs both original songs and scored background instrumentals. Music is woven throughout the entire film and covers just about every second of it. The original tracks tend to come in moments of relief or during the occasional sad moment. Always highly catchy, well chosen, and effective, and create the atmosphere they want. Background instrumentals are a mixed bag for me due to the overuse of their theme song. Scored tracks come in during all the tense moments in the action sequences. They tend to follow the emotions of the scene to the letter, but whenever Stone is about to do something cool, they trot out the theme song. It's fun the first time, and it gave it a Mission Impossible kind of vibe, but by the fifth time I heard it repeat, I was over it. The soundtrack is both significant and it accompanies the story well. The theme song does get annoying, but the rest of it is well scored and catchy. The acting is where the film starts to fall apart. The general cast is doing a fine job playing the roles and the emotions of them well. The supporting cast is filled with good actors doing solid one-note characters. Both of the villains even do a good job of their limited roles. The problem is Gal Gadot. She looks like an action hero. She even manages to pull off the action hero parts well enough. She just can't emote through her voice and doesn't emote enough with her face and body. Every time the script calls for her to do a joke or be personable with someone else, the only thing she can do is smile and speak in the same monotone voice. When she's supposed to be incredibly upset or angry, she speaks in a deadpan tone. It's hard to like her with the total lack of personality, and it's even harder to feel anything from her performance. Even with the rest of the cast doing their best and pouring a bit of their heart and souls into their characters, her boring performance ends up taking center stage. Most of the screen time is spent with her and most of the story relies on her to emote well. She doesn't, and it takes a lot of the bite out of the film. They don't end up spending enough time with anyone else for them to truly stand out, and there were a few decent performances. For example, Jamie Dornan as Parker, Jing Lucy as Yang, and Paul Reddy as Bailey made for an excellent little spy team, and the atmosphere between them was great. I'd have loved to see more of their dynamic. Overall, Heart of Stone is a solidly produced action film with an entertaining but incredibly generic story. The general cast does a decent job of bringing the world to life, and the film is filled with a grandiose soundtrack and tons of big visual moments. One problem was the lead actress. She isn't good at doing emotions, and she doesn't have much charisma. This is a story that rests heavily on the lead's shoulders. If you like action films and you don't care about characters much, this film is good for a one-time watch. But if you need a decent character to latch onto, this film doesn't give any of them the time they deserve. As for a rating, I give this film a 6 out of 10. Remember, those are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Bye-bye.